Welcome to another day, another end of day. Right, quick one. We had our Euro JPY bullish. Right, we had the break yesterday already. Not even yesterday, on Monday. Right, we had that break, so we are bullish. Right now, I did end up taking a loss today, this morning, right before Frankfurt was still 8 in the morning, right? But high conviction trade, right? Zero complaints about this one. Let me quickly explain it. We had the break of structure on Tuesday, right? Creates this internal swing, goes higher. This is not enough for me to be a swing, right? But it is an internal break of structure, and then we come back into an area of value, right? This is the same formation I'm always talking about that I want to see. I don't know what that ended up. Right, same formation that I'm always talking about. I want to see it move up, right? Move down, sweep the high, sweep the low, and then I want to follow in there, right? This is same pattern. The head and shoulders, always what I'm looking for, right? So I get that we had a break of structure. After a break of structure, you expect the pullback, right? So we had our internal break of structure, and then when it comes into here, this is high conviction trade for me. Like, this is what you want to see in order for you to be happy with taking the trade, right? And then waited for the M5 minute to give us an entry. We get the entry, but unfortunately it does not work out, right? But personally, I'm okay with that. I think it was still a very decent high probability trade, so I don't have a problem with this one. And then to end the day off, we just basically continued bullish, right? Nowhere for me to really say I can follow the price action, so everything that's in here now is basically invalid, right? Our focus will be in here, and on the 4-hour we might see a continuation from the zone here, right? If the market continues being super bullish, then we might just see a continuation from there. And 15 minute wise, I think the range is not too big. If we do get a switch to like bearish structure, then I would be comfortable looking for the sells, because on the 4-hour we did have this internal break, so expectations obviously are for a pullback to occur at some point in time. And then moving on to Euro USD. Another trade in there, but this one ended in a break-even trade, right? Could have been a winner, ended in break-even, but I'll explain the nuance of what happened. But basically the idea was we did have this large sweep, right? As I did say yesterday, we did have this large sweep. We had created equal lows. These are the equal lows right here. So my expectation was for these to get swept. That's the higher time frame idea, right? And so coming into this morning, we had the eyeballs here, so expectation was going to pull back in, right, and sweep these equal lows. And then when I open my charts in the morning, I see this formation here, right? Market moving correctively downward, so I was happy to follow it right here when it came into this zone. But I don't want to take this zone as is, right? I wanted a little bit more confirmation. So what do I wait for? I wait for this low here to get taken out, right? The low gets taken out. It's a nice close. Even though we do fail to break the this Asian low, but I was happy with looking for the continuation with the thought of, okay, with this held, right, it creates a internal of the internal low. I'm comfortable looking for the sell in there. And then when it comes to the sell in there, nice LC1 trade. You get a sweep of this internal here, right? 5-minute candle. We enter on that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The only problem now is the experience part of this, where I did have a feeling that if we do end up sweeping this low, right, we end up sweeping the low, not closing below, we might actually just go up, right? But in order not to let the emotions get the best of me, right, I'm starting to think of management. I'll just pop up a screenshot I took. I think it was just in here right after this happened, where I was still trying to decide on what to do. But my idea was, right, we come in. If we break this internal inside bar here, we break that, then clearly it's a sign that the low gets swept. It's Asian low, we get swept. This high goes, right, so this is an internal high, then that's a good sign that this might start buying again, right? So instead of closing the trade outright here, I decided, okay, it's fine, I'll just move to like break even, because sometimes you do find that it sweeps the low, faking out the breakout traders that want to sell, not want to sell, but want to buy after this fake out, right? You have a fake out and then they want to buy. Maybe there will be the liquidity, right? It comes in and then keeps on selling. I don't know, whatever philosophy, people have different philosophies for that, but my idea was, okay, once this candle goes, I'll assume it's gonna turn bullish, right? So at that point I close my risk, I cut my risk off, and it was basically a risk-free trade. I could have managed it tiny bit better. I could have managed it a tiny bit better with me maybe taking like a 1:2 instead of my normal 3.3. Like instead of got 1:3 to this low. But it's whatever, man. I think it's whatever. Keeping my fixed target has worked up until this point, so there aren't many of these where it just turns before it hits TP. It happens, but there aren't that many of them, so yeah, I think sometimes you do want to take your profit before this goes, right? But something to think about. I think it's not too bad. I think I'm not too angry at this or upset about it. It's just one of those, man. It's just one of those, and it's fine, right? What happened, and it's not a loss. End of the day, it's a break even, so you're still okay, and it just adds to the whole experience, right? In the future, maybe we're in a similar situation, and then maybe we'll manage it different. Another thing was it was counter swing, counter internal, but I think the overall idea for me was okay, so it's not a bad trade. I'd say it's not bad. Not the highest in terms of probabilities, but it's not actually bad. It was decent. And then for the rest of the day, pretty much couldn't follow anything in here. Just kept on being super bullish. And yeah, it's got a breakout, but immediate reversal. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. And then we have GU. GU also didn't present any opportunity for me. We did have the sweep of Asian low, right? Breakout there, but then there isn't a good POI to follow in there. Probably would look for something down there. We don't get that, and yeah, it's pretty much gone as well. Now it is bearish, right? But could have turned bearish to facilitate the pullback into here, and now it breaks up higher. So basically still be sitting on our hands waiting for a little bit more to happen and give us better better setup, right? And last, certainly not least, we have USD CAD. And that's a swing ball. We have USD CAD. USD CAD, pretty sure I put this in yesterday. Might have talked about this yesterday. Okay, 10 did I record? I'm not sure. It could have been 12. Okay, I don't think we've touched on this, but this certified POI did come into here, but it did not give me entry requirements coming into the certified M50. Plus there was an event before then, and I do not trade before events because anything can happen. So also this player really nothing good in here to say I could have followed. But for tomorrow, maybe we just keep following it like that, and just see what happens. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So yeah, peace.